You know, today was kind of like kind of weird gray. I thought it was kind of gray.
Yeah,
It felt very fall, kind of a winter day.
Thought it was going to be kind of warmer, and then all of a sudden the clouds came. If you were here in the metro area, right?
Pointing out that I went for a high of 71. We got to 67.
Other areas of the state did warm up.
Everybody around us, right? We're in the 70s, but the clouds developed and they just stayed right over us longer than anybody else. So. Anything else you want to point out before I get to the best part of the whole thing?
Go for it.
Friday's still not looking good.
All I know is that 100% better verify.
Hey.
What?
You know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, I did until I sat next to you guys.
You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you, David
Doggone it,
Payne.
people, I guess. That's awful nice. By the way, that was a great skit from SNL.
Yes.
It was good. All right, hey, I'll tell you this. The data tonight, the system is a little bit slower. So that means, possibly, on some of the data, that the severe weather threat will be a little higher, and the rain amounts will be a little bit heavier farther to the west. So there is some good news, right, coming out of this. We like the rain. We need the rain. The drought rages on. Here in Oklahoma City right now, we're looking at 61 degrees, south wind at 16, gusting to 24. It's breezy. It'll stay breezy all night long, and then tomorrow is going to be flat out windy, okay? Dew points right now running in the mid-50s. That's the moisture still increasing. It's going to really increase tomorrow and tomorrow night. It'll feel somewhat like spring to you tomorrow, with the humidity being as high as it's going to be. Right now here at 10 o'clock, low 60s, some 50s mixed in. It's a south breeze blowing to the north. That low-level jet over our heads is beginning to ramp up. It's really going to ramp up again tomorrow and also into your Friday. And here's why. Upper storm, ball of energy, cold pocket of air at about 15 to 20,000 feet up. It's going to drop in, come right down I-40, come right up on top of Oklahoma. And with that, we're going to have a couple of waves of rain and storms, mainly one big wave, but we still could get some isolated storms, which aren't good. You can, again, kind of increase that tornado threat a little bit with that, obviously, but more of a line of storms, which is still enough to give us severe weather and, again, that tornado threat. And then by Friday evening into Friday night, this thing is in eastern Oklahoma. It is out of here. So lows tonight, upper 50s to near 60. Mild, very mild. Highs tomorrow, more clouds, redevelop. Might have a little fog and some drizzle around tonight, early tomorrow morning. Still partly to mostly cloudy tomorrow with highs in the 60s and 70s. Look at the wind tomorrow, 30 to 40 miles per hour, blowing from the south to the north. And again, partly to mostly cloudy. I think we're basically dry during the day. And then tomorrow evening, if storms develop. Now, they're going to develop for sure tomorrow night. The question is, can we get a couple of storms to come out of the Texas Panhandle after 8 o'clock? Make their way northeast. If it happens at all tomorrow evening, strong, possibly severe, the main threat is going to be some wind and hail. There would be a low tornado threat. We'll be watching that carefully tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, this is late tomorrow night, the main energy, the ball of energy finally begins to arrive. Showers and storms develop in the west and northwest very late tomorrow night. They'll make their way east Friday morning. Okay, some of the data holds this back until Friday afternoon, but I'm kind of splitting the uprights here. We'll bring it up to the I-35 corridor late Friday morning through midday. And with that, starting in the west, spreading east, that risk of severe weather tomorrow night into Friday morning, it is there. Some quarter-size hail, winds gusting to 60 miles per hour. Could see an isolated tornado during that time frame, all right? And then tomorrow night and Friday morning, my tornado zone, about the same area. We might get a fast, quick spin up on that line of storms marching east. Trackers will be out as we get into your Friday morning. We'll be tracking that. Weather team will be here always like we are. And then for Friday, 40s for highs in the northwest, out ahead of the cold front, 60s and 70s, warm and unstable. And still, Friday afternoon, a 100% chance for rain and storms, northern, central, southern, and eastern Oklahoma. It begins to wind down temporarily in the west. Friday afternoon, I-35 eastward, best chance for severe weather, including large hail, damaging winds with tornadoes. More severe weather later in the day to the east and southeast of Oklahoma City. Quite a few severe storms there. And I think the highest tornado threat will be in the south and southeast, but anywhere along and east of the I-35 corridor, can't rule out the possibility of a tornado or two, all right? Quarter-size hail for most of us if you're going to get hail, and winds 50 to 60 miles per hour. Few gusts in there close to maybe 70. And then Friday evening, more rain redevelops. The severe weather is off to our east. That's the way it looks. Severe weather goes east of I-35, but the light rain will continue Friday evening. The weekend looks good. Daylight saving time ends. We roll the clocks back. Next week, here come the 70s and a cold front, pretty strong one, in about 9 days. Carl, back to you.